Hi, my name is Maral Cabrici, but you can feel free to just call me Maral. And I will be your professional counselor case manager person. And what that means is that I'm here to listen to you and support you through whatever it is you're going through and just help you throughout that time. Um, so, welcome to our agency. Before we do get started, I just wanted to explain some things really quickly about our agency. So our number one priority is patient confidentiality, and we do really care about protecting your safety as a client, and we do really care about protecting the security and the privacy of your client records. So our agency complies with HIPAA, which is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. And what that is just basically a series of rules. There's like 5 main parts, but it's a series of rules set for health insurance companies, life insurance companies, healthcare companies, and agencies like ours. And it's just like a set of expectations for clients like you, where in case of like anything happening, you will be protected under that act. And all of your information will be confidential. Basically, confidentiality means that like anything you tell me, I am not going to share it or spread it anywhere else, because that is just something that you're sharing with me and you're trusting me with this information. And I understand that like anything you tell me might be sensitive, so I'm not going to go around and tell anyone. We do have a few exceptions. So there will be times, or in case of like, in case of like any sort of like serious incidents, I will legally have to like report. What that means is that if I see or hear any signs of self-harm, harm to others, or suicide, then that means that I have to report to my supervisor and report to police. So those are the only instances where I will have to do some sort of mandated reporting. Other than that, all your information is very confidential and it is safe with me, so you can trust me. With that being said, what brings you here today?
Well, thank you for that, but I'm here because I just moved here and I'm having trouble finding places to eat that accommodate me. I'm allergic to many foods, and it's just been very hard for me to find people who are willing to feed me.
Great. Where can I ask, like, where on campus you've gone to go get food?
I've gone to the main dining hall next to the VU, and then I've also gone to the one in Fairhaven. And it's just been very difficult because it often takes up to 2 hours to get just one plate of food.
Yeah, that can be very that seems very inconvenient, and that seems like they're not really respecting your time as a student too. What is it that what are some of your like food restrictions, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't eat dairy or wheat or corn or rice, and every time I try and get in contact with someone, they just never, it's not done in a timely manner.
Okay. Is it okay if I ask who you've been contacting?
I live in Fairhaven, so I've contacted the main person at the Fairhaven dining hall, but they referred me back to Amtrak, which is the head of the food industry here, and I have to make an appointment with them first before Fairhaven can start making me food.
Okay. Well, that seems like a very frustrating situation, and I'm sorry that you have to go through that. That seems very awful that you have to wait for 2 hours for a meal. God. Um, do you know about like any possible like alternatives maybe like potentially like making meals for yourself? Because I know that Fairhaven has they're like apartment complexes, so they have their own kitchens. So I understand that like the dining halls, they're not exactly the best quality in my opinion. They're not the best quality meals, and I understand how like they can be really like inconsiderate of people's times. And I think maybe the quickest way for you to get food that is like beneficial for you, or food that would accommodate to your dietary needs, would be like maybe giving advice. To maybe cook for yourself. Have you tried like different alternatives?
Yes, I've tried to cook for myself, but I've just been waiting for so long just to even get a meeting with Amtrak or Airmark with Airmark, and it's been about 2 weeks since they're trying to figure out their schedules, but like that's 2 weeks of me making my own food when I'm paying for a meal plan.
Mhm. Oh right, yeah, because when you're living on campus, it's like mandatory to have a meal plan, and yeah, I understand how that could be very frustrating. What does like the head of the like dining hall, like the Fairhaven dining hall person, say when they refer you back to Aramark?
That I have to go through Airmark first before I can have an in Fairhaven. So Airmark is like the main problem.
Yeah. And then what does Aramark tell you?
That they're figuring out a time and place where we can all meet.
Okay. And then have you guys had the chance to figure that out, or like
They're still figuring it out.
Oh.
So
How long has it been since they first initiated that conversation?
2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, it is the middle of the quarter now. That's a long time just for a simple meeting about someone's dietary needs. And I'm sure that you're also not the only one on campus who has like special dietary needs. So, yeah. How do you feel about Aramark, like, and about the dining halls, like, not accommodating to your needs, like, in a timely manner?
I just think that it's annoying that for me to get food, I have to jump through all these hoops.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I've talked to everyone, they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So then, what have you been, if you don't mind me asking, what have you been doing for, like, meals and stuff? Because I imagine that, like, if you can't eat anything in the dining halls, then you can't eat much, like, that's in the markets, because those things are also supplied by Aramark. Basically, like, what have you been doing to, like, satisfy your dietary needs, and, like, how has this situation been affecting your life outside of your, like,
well, I have to go to the grocery store all the time,
mm-hmm.
and we all know how the grocery store, it's like a mile in each direction because I live in Fairhaven and the closest one is Hagen.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I can take the bus, it's oftentimes faster to walk because the bus runs on time routes. So just a lot of time riding buses back and forth, waiting for food. And like this probably could all be solved if Airmark would
accommodate.
Yes.
Right. And then how have you been feeling, like, health-wise about all of this?
I just feel very tired.
Yeah. And then, if you don't mind me asking, like, do you have like a relatively like heavy course load?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that can be very tiring. I know how tiring that can be, to have a very heavy course load, and like when you feel tired and you just want to like rest, you want to eat like something, but that isn't like readily available, and you have to take that time to go all the way back to the grocery store. That can be very annoying. Well, I see that our time is up, but I look forward to talking to you next week, and hopefully we can figure something out and I can help you throughout this time. Yeah, and my intent is to make sure that you get what you're looking for in terms of your dietary needs. And thank you for sharing this with me.
Thank you.
Yeah.